All right. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to our A Better Way presentation. Learn a little bit more about this wonderful company we are associated with called Nikan. I'm Mike DiMuccio. I'm going to be your guest host this evening. A little bit about my background. I had the privilege of learning about Nikan over 30 years ago. And it came at a very opportune time in my life where I was pretty much going nowhere fast. I was a graduate of aerospace engineering. I was in the recording business for a couple of years under contract, writing and producing original music. So I thought that was where I was going to make my mark in life. And then that record label fell apart, along with many of the proceeds that came to funding my life. And so I ended up working for a friend of mine as an electrician just to help him get things going with his new startup, and ended up becoming his right-hand man. And not too much longer after that, was hit from behind in a van and sustained a low back injury, a whiplash of the lower back. And that put me into the medical system, where I was going to physiotherapy, chiropractic care, massage therapy. I was in somebody's office every other day. That was for a year and a half. Nothing helped. My back would be aching every single day, some days worse than others. In fact, the only relief I really got was when I get home, lie on my stomach, and have my younger brother stand on my back. And the weight of their body would just give me that, I know you know this, hurts so good feeling, that feeling like, oh, but it feels better than not. That was me. And that was every day at the ripe old age of 27. So things were really not looking good. And I got a phone call from a friend of mine who knew about the situation, said, listen, I think I might have come across something that can help your back. Why don't you come over, take a look? So I did. He lived 10 minutes away, jumped in the car, went to his place, and he showed me a thing that's about the size of a credit card. It was gold foil on one side with the word Nikan written on it, and then fabric on the other side. It was flexible, it was whatever. He said it's a magnet. Now, being an engineer background, I studied magnetism, so that got my curiosity. But when he said it's a technology that's being introduced by this Japanese company that's done extremely well, he then popped a video that's called Humans Being More, and we started to watch this video. Now, he knew what he was presenting to me because he'd probably watched it a few times. But what I was learning about was there was this huge company that was very successful and prominent in Japan in the area of preventive health. That was what they called it then. Today, they call it wellness, but then it was called preventive health. And they were recognized by the Japanese Ministry of Health. They were multinational. They were a multi-billion-dollar company. In fact, they hit $1 billion faster than IBM and General Motors. So big going concern, but nobody had ever heard about it, of course, in North America and the Western world. And what they were pioneering was the introduction of a magnetic type technology that, when applied to the body, would give the body the condition it needed to heal itself, and quite rapidly. So with about 15 minutes of use of this thing on my back, my body felt better. My back didn't hurt. And when I heard the testimonials on this, which I hope you're going to hear some live yourself, that was what was really compelling. I could tell, and you can tell when somebody's just telling a story for the sake of telling a story versus really speaking authentically from, an experience that they had. And I heard chiropractors, I heard doctors, I heard housewives, I heard every type of person speak on something that this product had an impact on them, and the various types of products that Nikan was offering at the time. So I was more than compelled. I decided to take it home, get a closer look, start to read some of the information I was given. And just then my dad was going upstairs to bed, who was a terrible sufferer from sciatica problems. And his problems were so bad that he was literally limping in pain every single day. And it was so bad that night that it was like an old man creeping upstairs. I said, hey, Pop, let's try this. We put this magnet on his back, on the small of his back. And sure enough, within 2 days of that experience, that night, and him doing it 2 nights in a row, he was limp-free, full range of motion, no discomfort at all. And to boot, he calls me from work and says, hey, I think I've got some friends here that would want to buy them. Can you get some more? Now, he didn't know anything about this being a business opportunity, a Japanese giant, nothing. He had none of the marketing background on this. All he was going by was his personal experience. And if you knew my dad, old school Italian, it's pretty hard to turn them into anything, but he was motivated and to tell other people. And that's when I got the understanding that this was real. that this product was real and that what I was hearing on this video was real. This is what I heard. A gentleman said, you can sell just about anything to anyone, and they might like it, and they might tell someone about it. But when you can take away someone's pain and discomfort, they'll tell everyone about it. And that's exactly what my father was doing. So it was like, bing, I'm in. So 48 hours into this, first time I heard a Nikan, I decided I was going to be a crusader for this. Now, that's kind of where my story begins. And it's been a 30-year journey that has been nothing but miracle after miracle, such a remarkable life, such a remarkable lifestyle. And I want to introduce that to you with a little PowerPoint presentation that we created, me and my associate, to kind of give you a better understanding of who is Nikan, what's it about, and how do these products become so meaningful and impactful. You can see this woman, she's a perfect illustration of what it looks like to have a voice. I mean, she has a voice, she has something to sing, she has something to say. And I believe that's true of every one of us. Every one of us has something to say, something in us that may have been maybe went quiet at some point in time because life got in the way. Situations get in the way, and somehow it diminishes us, and we don't have the courage or the confidence to really belt it out and say what we mean and feel, say what we're thinking. So the idea of humans being more is about embellishing that which you already are, helping you to become more of what you are. And so if we look at some of the people who are wise and have shared some wisdom with us, the cause has never been stronger. Seek happiness and learn from adversity, the Dalai Lama says. If you just read this, no matter what part of the world we come from, we are all basically the same human beings. We all seek happiness and try to avoid suffering. We have the same basic human needs and concerns. All of us human beings want freedom and the right to determine our own destiny as individuals and peoples. That is human nature. And when you consider where we are in the world right now, that statement is going against the grain of a lot of situations that are emerging right now in the medical industry, in the political industry, and so forth, trying to squeeze us into a box when it's against human nature to be that way. So yeah, we definitely need a better way than the one that's being offered or presented to us. And in 1975, Nikan was born, and it had a new vision for success, a new definition where success wasn't the acquisition of anything. It was the pursuit of something meaningful, the pursuit of balance in what we call the 5 pillars of wellness. In other words, success by definition is the movement towards a healthier body, a healthier mind, a healthier family, which is the relationships in our family, a healthier society, which is our contribution to society, and healthier finances, which is the means by which we're able to operate within the material world. This is what we mean by humans being more in balance and being more centered in our purpose as human beings to have a healthy life and a healthy lifestyle. So now let's think about one of the most important discoveries, this concept called compound effect. In fact, I think it was Einstein who said the 8th wonder of the world is compounding. What exactly is compounding and how is it affecting us? Most of you know compounding or compound interest from interest payments or payments you get in the bank, whatever. But compounding is something that we've been living with all our lives. It's small choices with a consistency of time that ultimately leads to our habits. And we are creatures of habit. And so we are on a daily basis thinking certain things, acting a certain way, and those are producing results, and those results compound over time. So for instance, illness is not something that happens overnight. It's a progression of habits, lifestyle habits. Well, wellness is the same thing. It's only the inverse. It's a progression of habits, but choices that have become habits that are actually nourishing to our health and our well-being once we understand what that is. If it's a small thing, it's easy to attain. It's hard for people to make big changes. People say all the time at New Year's, they have new resolutions. I'm going to lose 15 pounds, and then they bail out after a week or so trying, because they're trying to take it all in one leap rather than a small incremental adjustment that causes them to think about their choices on a daily basis, and that compounds to big, big results. Well, we could be talking about anything here: relationships, happiness, success. The idea here is small choices, good choices, with consistency of time can produce a radical difference. And that is the philosophy around how we actually approach health and well-being. If you look at any trends in the world, this is based on the 2020 global wellness trends. This is why Nikken products are so relevant, why they matter. There's a focus, and a focus shifts from sleep to circadian health. So people are starting to really dig and understand that our body works in rhythms, and that you need to work with the rhythms of the body. And when you work against that, people don't sleep well. Aging, it's now being rebranded as cool. People are living longer, and it's the saying, 60, or I guess 60 is the new 40 or the new 50, and 50 is the new 40, and all that's reframing means that people are still active even though they're getting older. So they want to stay active. Then there's this one here, Japanese wellness. This is something that's happening quite a bit. It's a trend that's coming from Japan, and there's every reason in the world it should. Japan has more people living over 100 years of age than anyone in the world. That's pretty amazing. So from 1965, where they had only 153 people who were over 100 years of age, to 2017, where they have over 67,000 people living over 100 years of age. What are they doing in Japan? Do we want to know? Because clearly that's not the statistics in the West. So what they have done and what they are doing as a trend in Japan is leading to healthier, more longevity. And they are in fact #1 in health in the world. So whatever it is that they're doing in Japan ought to be something we should be very interested in concerning health. Mental wellness and wellness technologies. This is something that's helping to combat modern day issues like burnout, anxiety, stress, loneliness. So it's becoming a very important factor for us to pay attention to those things. Energy medicine, you probably heard of that. That's getting pretty serious. Doctors, wellness practitioners are now uncovering this technology like electromagnetics, light, sound interventions to help heal the body. It's energy medicine, because we recognize that the body is not just chemical, it's energetic. In fact, chemistry is Newtonian physics, which has been since trumped by Einsteinian physics, which is energy medicine or energy. Wellness sabbaticals, anybody done one of those? So where do you go to get a wellness sabbatical? You go to a place that has a simple environment that connects you to nature. The science behind the industry. People are increasingly wanting to separate the wheat from the chaff in the wellness industry and are relying more on science to back it up. So, science-based technology, things like the magnetics we're going to talk about. Growing searches online are for direct selling, business from home, gig economy, online marketplace, digital marketing, social media, Zoom meetings. These are the top searches online, which is telling you that not only is wellness a trend, but people are looking to become employed or self-employed. That's a trend. So if you've got the two going for you, that's where Nikken becomes extremely interesting and relevant. So let's just focus on the products. The wellness home is what Nikken presents to the world. It's an environment. It's an environment that teaches the inhabitants of that environment to become conscious and aware of what makes the body healthy. And it's basic. The basics are pretty straightforward: air, water, sleep, nutrition. This is not rocket science. We all know that we breathe. And if we're breathing clean, fresh air, like forced fresh air, that has an impact. When's the last time you took a walk in the forest? What did you notice about how you feel? What about water? We consume water every day because it's every vital function in our body. And yet we don't pay as much attention as maybe we should, that all water is not equal. Some water provides actual hydration. Other waters contaminate our body with whatever's in the water. And then on top of that, our body doesn't assimilate it as well. And so we just pee it out. What about sleep? They're saying sleep is the single most important factor in health and longevity, yet who pays attention to it? You go to bed, you hope to sleep, you wake up, you get back to work. But if you actually could control that and improve the quality of your sleep, even as little as 5 or 10%, that compounding effect has an enormous impact on overall health and longevity, because sleep is the regenerative cycle. And it's the only time your body's regenerating. And then, of course, the most obvious, nutrition. Most people, they do pay more attention to what they're eating, but it's compromised because the supply of food comes from GMOs. It comes from depleted soils. It doesn't have the nutrients that we once upon a time used to have in our food supply. So people are eating more than they probably should and eating the kind of things that are actually causing them inflammation. So whole food, organic, natural, hard to come by, hard to keep consistent with, and yet so vital to our health and longevity. So Nikken introduces a simple path to active wellness. They say, hey, it's up to you to stay healthy. It's not up to anybody else. The doctors in the Western Hemisphere are not here to keep you healthy. They're here to treat your illness. That's all they study. In fact, if you get a doctorate degree, those nurses on the call here, you got maybe 3 hours of 4 or 5 years, and then how many years of internship? You got maybe 3 hours of theory on nutrition, 3 hours. And yet the whole premise of the industry, let your food be your medicine, the Hippocratic Oath, above all, do no harm, has been totally violated every which way. So we don't have a healthcare industry. That's a lie. We have a sick care industry. You're only a customer of that industry if you're sick. And who wants to be a customer of that industry? Nobody. So how do we avoid being a customer of that industry? We pay attention to wellness, what keeps us healthy, not what breaks us down. And so that's really the goal of Nikken, is to introduce people to this ideology and create an awareness of what people can do in terms of daily choices, and provide solutions, everyday solutions that they can integrate into their lifestyle to help them with that, keep a healthy body, healthy mind, healthy family, healthy society, and healthy finances. So let's look at some of the categories. Nikken Active Wellness Products is basically science that replicates nature. While the Western Hemisphere has been studying disease, Nikken, for 47 years, founded in 1975, has been studying what keeps the body healthy. And believe it or not, the answer is very different. And it's really kind of fundamental, as I said already. So we know about nutrition, that's super important. So Nikken has an array of nutritionals that are all whole food, organic, natural. For instance, our Jade Greenzymes is a rich barley grass. It's a super green that's incredible for nutrients and for keeping the body alkaline. That balance of acid alkaline is critical for health and longevity. The nutritional mix called Kenzen Vital Balance, that can be used on a daily basis to either replace a meal or to supplement a meal. Again, when you look at the ingredients list, you will be most thoroughly impressed. Nikken a few years ago was rated number 7 out of 200 products in the marketplace in terms of the quality of this product. And that was not satisfactory to the CEO of Nikken, who went about finding and sourcing the ingredients that would make this the #1 product in the world. And they found it. They just had to replace a few items to make them 100% natural, organic, whole food. So again, that's the kind of effort that a Japanese-based company, a company that originates from Japan would go through, because this is the way they think. I don't know if you've spent any time in Japan or know much about that place. I've been there 5 times. And the attention to detail in Japan in every aspect of life is absolutely astounding. It's astounding. It's one of the most beautiful countries I've ever been to. And the people are some of the most amazing people I've ever been around. They're so humble and so honorable. In any event, Nikken doesn't stop with nutrition and, of course, skincare, our largest organ. With this product, by the way, won the Gold Award in France. They beat everybody, Lancome, all those companies out there. This is the company that got the Gold Award for this particular item. And this is extracted from plants, algae and underwater in a sustainable way. Again, one of the conditions of Nikken is sustainability as a company. Our environmental products range from air, water. So what you see there, that sport bottle, talk about an elegant solution. Think about all the bottles, the plastic bottles out there polluting our environment, literally destroying our environment. They say that in the Atlantic Ocean and in the Pacific Ocean is the equivalent of plastics accumulated the size of the state of Texas. That's underwater, and it's affecting life in the oceans and of course on Earth. Now they find microplastics in every human being. So we now are, in fact, when you open a bottle from a plastic bottle, when you open that cap, thousands upon thousands of microplastics fall into the water. You're consuming that, and those microplastics don't leave. So what we have is a problem that can be easily solved if we could just turn simple, readily available tap water into clean, fresh drinking water. But what if you could take it one step further? What if you could actually remineralize that water so it's alkaline, like it's found in nature? What if you could also make those water molecules small, called microclusters, so that they actually hydrate the body? They're more bioavailable down to the cellular level. So when you actually drink this water, not only does it taste great, but it feels great going down, very silky smooth, and it actually hydrates the body. And what if you could do all of this with a product that doesn't pollute the environment, that should you discard this product, this bottle, or as you change the cartridges every 3 months, those things are biodegradable themselves. And lastly, what if you could do all this for 10 cents a liter, making it probably the least expensive water available in the marketplace? That would be quite an achievement. Well, that's what you're looking at. And I'll take that to the next level. The one that you see on it to the right of it is a countertop unit that we can turn our tap water from our kitchen into the family's supply of fresh mineral water. And then what about showering in it? How would that affect your body, since your body does absorb through the skin? You know, if you know people who've got the no smoking patch, you know, the nicotine patches and stuff, or medicine patches, it's because it goes across the skin. So why protect your body on the inside and not protect your body on the outside, when you could be consuming chlorine in the shower every day, or avoiding it just by showering in a unit that filters that out? Simple solution, but very effective. And then we also have air technology. That's another product in the Niken catalog of products which not only filters the air using HEPA filtration. That's the kind of filtration you get in the hospitals, in the surgery rooms of the hospitals. It's the cleanest kind of filtration you can get. It takes out not only particulate, but viruses down to 0.3 micron. But on top of that, what if you can not only clean the air, but reintroduce to the air what you would find if you were actually in a forest, such as a pine forest? What do you find in that area? You find a rich concentration of negative ions. That's why the air feels fresh. So imagine generating that in your bedroom or in your office or wherever you spend a lot of time. Then there's the category that we were talking about before, rest and relaxation. Sleeping, relaxing the body, allowing the body to be regenerated. How many of you on this call feel stress on a daily basis, or know people who feel stress on a daily basis? Anybody? Yeah, that's a real thing, right? Well, what are you doing to de-stress? Because if you're not de-stressing, then that stress accumulates, and that affects our body, it affects our mind, it affects our relationships. Are you a little bit on the edgy side when you're stressed? Does that impact your interaction with your family, with your children, with your significant other, etc.? So stress and relaxation, or rest and relaxation, super important. Niken has a line of technology that incorporates 3 very fundamental energy fields. One is magnetic, that's the energy of the earth. The second is infrared, that's the frequency of light that is nourishing from the sun, and our body generates it, and these fabrics reflect it, these fibers. And then lastly, the negative ions that I spoke about earlier. All 3 technologies being incorporated into a sleep pad, a pair of insoles you can put in your shoes, a seat cushion that you could sit when you're sitting in front of your computer all day long, which is generating positive ions, which causes you to feel depressed and de-energized, versus negative ions, which causes your mood to be enhanced and you to be more relaxed. And all of this you can look up online. Just look at what is the effect of negative ions in breathing negative ions and being around negative ions. So things like the most common things that you would find in nature, Nikken has encapsulated in these wellness products, these wellness solutions. I'm just going to break it down a little bit further for you here. Nikken has offered us ways of introducing people to the product lines in terms of the categories: water, energy, and sleep. And what I'd like to do is maybe just open a channel here to everybody. I'm going to ask you guys to unmute and share a little bit about your experience of these products, whether it's the water product, whether the sport bottle, the countertop item, the shower, the insoles, the infrared knee wraps, I know you guys have a lot of history with this one, the Mag Flex that you can put on the lower back or the stomach area. We've got this thing called the Kenko Touch, which creates a pulsed magnetic field for local use, relaxing muscles and tissue. We've got the seat that I'm sitting on. We got the power band necklaces and wristbands. We got Bag Duo that you can use to massage. And we have the insoles. This pad here is a grounding mat. I know there's a few stories that we can get around the grounding mat, how powerful that is. And of course, then there's the sleep technology, everything from the pillow to the comforter to the pad. So I just want to ask you guys, this is where I'm going to ask you to chime in and tell us what has been your experience thus far, even if it's limited, with the Nikken products. If I may, I'm going to just stop sharing and ask you to jump in here. Anyone want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go.
Go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm Moya, for those who don't know. So yes, my initial buy was the water pack. I got the one with the handheld water shower filter. So it came with the shower filter, the water bottle, and the countertop unit. I also purchased the insole separately as well. So starting with the water, I've noticed, like obviously just definitely noticed the taste at first, but I've actually noticed my skin looks smoother, and I've noticed my acne is minimizing a lot, but I noticed my skin just looks a lot smoother. My face looks and feels smoother. When we're showering, I know my youngest one, had dry skin and usually does get a lot of dry skin during this winter, but for the past month and a half, her skin has been so well moisturized, and it's literally like a miracle. Like she isn't complaining anymore, so I love that. And for the insoles, I now work on my feet all day at a coffee shop. And when the first week I started, I didn't have the insoles at first, and my feet were literally on fire. Like it was so crazy. My body did not know how to react to it. My back was hurting me, everything. But now using the insoles daily, like it's completely a 180. I don't feel any pain. I feel like more balanced, more energetic too on the floor. Like I feel like I'm just like lightly walking, hopping around. I know my energy is a bit different than my coworkers' energy as well too. I feel like they're operating from like a low vibrational place. I feel like I'm just kind of going with the flow. I love you, you know? So yeah, that's my personal experience with the products.
Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you for that, Moya.
I'll add to Moya's testimony on the shower head, because someone like me, I have eczema, and I have been fortunate to be using these products forever, but I've noticed the biggest difference when I'm not showering in my system. And it was very apparent to me this summer when I went away to Kingston, and we were staying at a hotel, and I went to take a shower, and oh my God, I was so itchy the entire shower. Like my skin was reacting. It was red when I got out. And even my hair, like my hair was not lathering. It didn't feel smooth like what I was used to. And I was like, oh my God, like I knew my system was great, but like now I actually can say like what a difference it makes for my skin, especially someone who has such sensitive skin. So that is like a really, really important one. And then I also want to speak on this necklace right here, because for me, I wear it all the time because I know how it protects against, you know, a lot of the electromagnetic fields that we have going on, positive, positive ions through our computers and everything. But what's been most rewarding for me is seeing the way my friends feel when using this product. And I've had so many people share with me that they put this on and it's like their anxiety, they just feel calms and like they feel calm. They feel an instant state of calm. People who have had anxiety, like I gave it to one of my friends and I said to her, just keep this on, wear it for 5 days and take it off after 5 days. Let me know how you feel. After the 5 days, she wouldn't take it off. She literally said, I don't know if it's this necklace or if it's just my week, but I have not been irritated once. And like she didn't take it off and she just kept it because it helped her with anxiety. So this has been one of the most amazing tools that like I love. And I could share so much more, but I'll let you guys share.
Let me just touch on that for a second, because I've had a lot of experience with autistic children and their incredible reaction to this particular product, the necklace, worn anywhere, even around an ankle. It's got magnets, so it's magnetic energy. The black material is the infrared technology, the far infrared technology, and inside is tourmaline, which is a crystal that is, if you look it up, what are the health benefits of that? That's what produces the negative ions. So you have this triphase, what we call triphase technology on your person. And wherever you are, whatever the circumstances are, you got a little bit of a little line of defense with respect to what's going on in the environment, which today, especially where Savannah is, she's in an apartment and way up in the apartment. So she's very disconnected from planet Earth, being elevated, 30 stories and surrounded by people who have a Wi-Fi. If you open your phone, I don't know where you're living, but if you open your phone, you'll see how many Wi-Fi, what do you call them? Emitters are sitting in your room. Your body is an antenna. It's subjected to that. So all the electrical system in the body is being compromised by this foreign element, these frequencies that are unnatural. And so your body's constantly in a state of disruption and is always trying to make up for it. And so, yeah, EMF radiation as well. So just having something like this wherever you go is a great line of defense. Of course, this is a daytime type solution, and it's great for that. And there's others, but the most intrinsic one is when you're sleeping with this technology and your body's going through its regeneration. So if you want to look healthy and stay healthy and look young and feel young for years and years to come, you want to be in reverse aging technology. In other words, you want to be in the technology that staves off the aging process, which is oxidation, stress, etc., lack of hydration. Who would like to go next?
I'll just add more to the point of the power bands. I know you guys have heard my story with my dog Stella. She was hospitalized over the summer. We thought we had to put her down. She ended up making it through, but she didn't come out the other end as energetic as she was before. And Elena gave us a power band. It was actually 2 bracelets that she connected together to fit Stella. And within a few days, me and my mom were noticing a huge increase in energy, resuming some of the old habits that she used to have. But honestly, fast forward to now, it's like the gift that keeps on giving. Like we went to, my dog is really bad in the car. She gets anxiety. She starts shaking, how dogs do. And I was nervous to bring her on a really long drive to Hamilton. And I put her in the car and she fell asleep. Like nothing happened. And I was like, this is crazy, because my dog in all her 15 years has never been calm in the car. We've always had to hold her, can't put music because she's so sensitive to these things. And it was like nothing happened. She slept the whole way. We got there, full of energy again. So that was another really big difference that I noticed, just going back to Savannah's point about anxiety and how they help out. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Cool. Wonderful. Kyle, you jumped in as well. How about you?
I can go next. Just on to your point there, my dog actually has really bad anxiety in the car as well. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. But I had a crazy experience with the, I don't know what it's called, the pad, the grounding mat. So I'm not going to lie, I went into this and I was like, okay, I want to be open-minded, but I'm not so sure how this is going to work because I am new to everything and I've never tried it. I turned into Superwoman. Like, I don't consider myself a super strong person. And me and Savannah are pretty similar in sizes. And she was pushing down on my arms and I could barely resist her. And then I stood on the mat and I was like Superwoman. So that was a crazy experience to me. And then trying the water for the first time, I actually felt like things were coming out of me, like toxins. And because I know you guys mentioned that typically you'll feel more hydrated and you won't have to go to the washroom a lot. But I feel like the first couple of days while your body's like balancing out, you're going to feel these things start to like release out of your body because there's all these chemicals and plastics and things. So I actually noticed a flushing happening. And then I loved the, I don't know if you guys watched the video, but Savannah and I did an experiment where she showed me how much chlorine was in the water. And I grew up with pools. So that was wild to me. I was like, how could anyone even be touching this water or consuming it or showering in it? Like, to me, I don't understand why everybody doesn't know about this stuff, because it's wild. And then actually, I didn't tell you guys this, but when I came home and I drank from my Brita the next morning, it tasted like poison. Like,
It
I
was
actually
acidic.
noticed a taste. I noticed, yeah, it was like there was like residue of alcohol in my glass. I was like, I even asked my friend, I'm like, did you use this for wine or something? But it was a fresh glass, new glass, and it was terrible.
Thank you.
So
Thanks for
that's
that.
my experience.
No, wonderful,
While you
wonderful.
guys continue talking, she just mentioned it, so I'm going to show it. This is a chlorine tester, and I just grabbed a glass of tap water and a glass of PiMag water. I forgot which one's which, but we'll know. I'm going to put the droppers in and show you guys in 2 minutes.
Okay. Shelby, did you have an
Can I
experience?
say something quickly?
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Rosemary.
Hi. Yeah, I can easily tell if it's not tap water, because tap water and bottled water, like when I smell it, I'm not tweaking. I can smell the metal. It's so weird. So I used to get headaches and I was chronically dehydrated, like always tired, always thirsty. I peed like 8 to 9 times a day. And I was never able to quench my thirst. I actually have a reverse osmosis system installed in my kitchen, and we got it installed when I moved. And although it takes out all of the bad stuff, it takes out all of the good stuff too. So it's like dead water. Like, it's clean water, but it's dead water. So this thing literally changed my life within like 3 to 4 hours. And I usually have to pee like in like 2-hour intervals, even hourly sometimes, and it was like 4 hours, and I'm like, I don't have the urge to urinate right now, and that means that my body is taking to the water really well, and I'm absorbing the proper nutrients and minerals, which is so great. And also I find that the insoles, they really ground me. They help me with my balance a lot too. When I'm doing like weightlifting, crab walking and stuff like that, I feel more grounded and I'm more able to balance when I'm like lifting heavy weights, which is really nice as well. And I don't have the necklace on, it's actually right beside me, but I have the bracelet on. And yeah, I'm a strong believer. They do protect against EMF radiation, and the tourmaline is really good for you. I've read up on it a little bit, so that's really nice as well. And then I had my Meekin, like my chair cushion, and I just had it sitting on my bed, and my cat came in my annoying cat, I love her though, and she slept on the cushion for like 20 hours straight, like did not move. It was so crazy because she usually is kind of squirmy sometimes. So yeah, those would be my personal testimony.
Cool. Awesome. By the way, that seat cushion that she's talking about, that's the same technology that's in the topper that goes on top of your mattress. Part of the Niken sleep system is the part that goes right on top of your mattress, which has a massage nodules. Again, when you take a closer look at this, you'll be quite impressed. So let's see that, Savannah, up against the, wow. Ugh.
Cool water.
That is the tap water, and this is PiMag water.
Oh gosh.
And it's literally green, guys. Like, if you look at the levels, like it's past like this level of chlorine. Like, it's really bad.
Did you get
Do
that
you
test at
actually-
Canadian Tire?
I got it from Canadian Tire. Yeah, you can get a pool kit from there, guys. Okay, this is actually great.
Is that
Like,
tap
think
water?
about people that drink this. It's not okay. It's
Well,
not.
Do you
know,
actually
and-
happen to know what pool chlorine levels are supposed to be at? Because that would be an interesting comparison.
Oh, I
I
don't know,
wonder,
but
but
they're
like
off the
I'm
charts.
looking at this, and this looks like this is green. It's not even
Yeah.
yellow. It surpasses the test.
It's off the scale.
It's off the scale. That's horrible. That's your tap water. My God. Well, that's life, guys. You know, one thing, we do have water, running water. Some places in the world don't. So we do have running water, and it's potable, meaning it doesn't have active bacteria or viruses that are going to, you know, cause you dysentery or something like that. So in one sense, it's, you know, kind of a necessary evil. But my God, why would you drink that? Why wouldn't you treat the water, you know, before you actually consume it or shower in it? And so that's the solution that Nikan brings, but it's more than just the cleaning of the water. It's the reconditioning of the water to make it like it would be in pristine lakes and riverbeds, that you would find this fresh, healthy water that you can drink. Does anybody have an experience with the sleep system?
Yeah, I do. So I started off with the my first investment in the Nikan products was the water pack. Great experience, obviously echoing what everyone else has already said about hair, skin, just the taste of the water. Previously, I had the Berkey water filter, which, like Rose was saying, it filters out all of the bad stuff, but then you're left with dead water, because there's no good stuff left either. So even just the taste difference between the two filters is out of this world. So I was testing out all the products really slowly. I'm like, okay, so I'm sold on the water. It's 100%, like, I'm going to start promoting it. And then I got the Magflex and then the insoles, and I was just kind of testing them out individually. And then obviously, after I noticed that every single product does exactly what it says it's supposed to do, I'm like, okay, I'm going to make the investment in the sleep system. Like, I'm going to do it. I've always been like a pretty deep sleeper in the sense that, like, I fall asleep fast. And I stay asleep, but I'm also easy to wake up. But now I just like have these really crazy vivid dreams. So I'm like, I can tell that I don't know a lot about sleep, but I can tell that I'm getting into a deeper sleep in the sense that I'm able to dream and then remember them when I wake up. And so that's exciting. And just like, it's just so comfortable, like, regardless of the technology, it's just very, very comfortable. Like, I feel like I'm just wrapped in, you know, a cocoon. Like, the duvet is so thick and comforting. Like, I don't even know how else to describe it.
Like a hug.
It's like a hug. Yeah. Even the pillow, like, I'm like, everything's so nice. Like, the quality of everything is really, really high. You can tell it's durable, really well made. So I was really impressed by the sleep system too. When I was unpacking it, I was like, wow, it's like Christmas morning. So yeah, the products are amazing. I started off with one necklace. I ended up buying one for my boyfriend, my mom, my dad, my dog. So anytime I need, like, you know, if I need to hit PV that month, then I just buy these because they're good gifts, you know.
I have
and
them
like,
on auto ship. I actually have them coming in automatically every month.
yeah, like, that's brilliant. So I just signed up for the immunity mushroom stuff for auto ship, the nutritionals. That's another one.
That's the number one selling product in North America is Nikan's Immunity. It's
Wow.
14 different mushrooms, whole
Yeah.
mushrooms.
Yeah.
A number of them they had to actually, that only Nikan has, because they had to actually bring them back into existence. They had become extinct. So
Wow, I
we
didn't know that.
have one of the most profound, powerful medicinal mushroom products in the world, which is for the immune system. That's why they call it immunity. So yeah,
Yeah.
huge.
And that's one thing why I was so impressed by Nikan, is just the knowledge that they have in health and wellness. Like, I've personally been taking mushroom supplements for about 6 months to a year now, before I even knew about Nikan. And then when I learned about their nutritionals and that they have mushroom supplements, I was like, what? They have that too? Like, that's awesome, because it's important, and it actually can help people with their memory and their brain function. And like, now I'm getting my parents on it, because I noticed that my dad's memory, he forgets things, and I'm like, you need to be on the mushroom supplements. So yeah,
Awesome.
phenomenal.
Rosemary, you mentioned something in the text message. For the people who are watching the recording, they wouldn't have heard that. So why don't you just share your story with that?
Yeah. So it's genetic. I just have a very, very difficult menstrual cycle. Let's just say that. So I have lots of pain, lots and lower back, everywhere, just everywhere. My mom's the same way. Sometimes I'd be bedridden. Like I'd just be in so much pain, and I don't take Tylenol or Advil. I just troop it out because I don't like that kind of medication to take. So I tried the MagFlex, and I was waiting 5 minutes. I'm like, I still feel pain, blah, blah. But I kept it there. And honestly, it took 20 minutes and I didn't even notice that I wasn't in pain anymore. Like it just disappeared. So I don't know if it was 20 minutes or 15, I can't remember, because it went completely away. And that's due to the ferromagnetic material in it, interacts with the iron in your blood, and it helps for better blood flow in the body, and it helps with inflammation. So definitely recommend for all my fellow women out there to grab a MagFlex.
And for me, for the lower back, if you're a skier, or if you're getting a little bit older in life and you're just starting to feel those aches and pains as a daily thing, that imagine sleeping on that. Imagine having that to sleep on or sleep in every night when your body is really regenerating. Before we move on, and I do want to wrap up, is there any questions? Sashay, Osa, do you have any questions for us?
Honestly, I don't really have any questions. Everything was kind of answered and touched on.
Okay, cool. Osa, you're good with that?
Yeah, everything sounds good so far. It's really crazy to hear all these different stories, because I know my parents could definitely use stuff like this.
I know. I mean, you can't possibly imagine what I've heard. I can tell you stories that you will find very hard to believe, that have actually happened more than once, so that I know it's not just me making it up, but some really crazy stuff. When the body is given the right condition, it is a miracle. Think about it. When you get a cut, do you have to think about it, or does it heal? It heals itself. It's an incredible machine, this body of ours. We just have to give it the right conditions, and it can do a wondrous thing. And so that's what Nikken is about. It's about providing the body internally, externally, with the right conditions so that it can do its work and stay healthy, which is what we're really supposed to be. So let me just kind of give you a little bit more, and then we can just wrap up. So as we mentioned, these are the packs: the water pack that you heard about, the energy pack, which has a combination of the energy technologies that you heard about, the sleep pack. Each of these packs are available at a 10% discount because they're a pack. And so we recommend these packs as a way to get started. Of course, the items are available individually. The person who invited you to this call can share with you their personal webpage from Nikken, and you can go shopping for whatever it is that you found interesting here. Now, let's talk a little bit about this idea of the balance part. If I was to ask 100 people that which of these 5 pillars is the one that's most out of balance, which would they say? Of course, I'm kind of giving you a hint. It's the one that's magnified on that page, right? They'd probably say finances. That's the one that's causing people the most stress. And stress, it doesn't matter how you get stressed. Stress is stress. It's going to affect you. So what we want to do is we want to help people de-stress. So one of the things that Nikken deals with in the way of stress financially is giving people a way to relieve their financial stress by providing an opportunity to promote Nikken's products. So by sharing active wellness, basically we register with Nikken as a Nikken wellness consultant. It's around $20. I think it's 24 Canadian, something like 20 something American. You share and promote the products, just like you're hearing right now. Friends, family, people you come across. And if you want to do this with greater purpose as a business like I did, we'll give you the knowledge of how to expand your reach. We invite people to learn about this. This invitation tonight, for instance, this call is just one of many ways people can learn about Nikken. Of course, we have videos, we have web pages, and other live presentations that happen. Nikken does the heavy lifting. They're the ones that do the delivery, the shipping, the R&D, the warehousing. Imagine this, having a multinational, multi-billion-dollar company with warehouses full of Nikken products, so you don't have to worry about that. All you do is connect people to the Nikken products and Nikken, where they can shop for themselves through your web portal. And then Nikken delivers those products to that consumer. And then the last one, number 5, which I kind of enjoy, is the rewards. Niken pays weekly commissions and monthly bonuses and many different types of incentives, such as travel incentives, product bonuses, etc., to keep the engine running. And what's really neat is you never know who you're going to tell about this that's going to become one of those sprouts that goes on and starts telling other people. I introduced a number of people to this over my 30 years. From the number of people, and I'm talking, I probably enrolled somewhere around 100 people in Niken as a business. And out of those 100 people, some of them took it seriously, some of them just enrolled so they can get a discount. And some of them actually went on to build a business. But from that initial effort over the last 30 years, I have an organization that stretches into 20 countries, that numbers in the thousands, literally. And so those shoots can become massive trees, and those trees can become orchards. So if you have a desire to improve your financial situation, becoming an active wellness member of and joining this community and then sharing would be an awesome thing to do, because it can lead to a business. Our business is all about collaboration. Savannah, I'm going to ask her to tell you a little bit about the team that we're creating here, because this team has something special to offer and to achieve. We're helping people develop themselves as leaders. We're helping them develop themselves as business owners, as entrepreneurs, people who've never been in business for themselves. And of course, if you have that already going for you, you'll just accelerate all that much faster. But it's a very streamlined, easy, a very efficient way for people to get involved in the entrepreneurial movement that's taking place and create economic stability. And you've seen this before. You've seen Amazon, you've seen Uber. They became household names because they provided platforms for people to become self-employed. Now, those self-employed people are not Amazon and are not Uber. Imagine if you had the same tools that Amazon and Uber did, that you had the ability to multiply yourself by providing people with a platform. That's Niken. Niken is literally the Amazon or Uber of wellness, only with the extra caveat that you can help others tie into the platform and you can earn from that. That's how I get paid from an organization that spreads across the globe. It starts with just me and then it expands, and it starts with just you and then it expands as we share, and we can share anywhere. This is actually an old image. We're working on the new platform, and our new platform is going to be internationally connected to all the Niken markets so that we can grow our business globally. And that's the vision for Niken for 2025, to attract 10 million new active wellness participants. So you could be one of those people that helps start a movement and grow this thing. Tremendous opportunity for incentives, as I mentioned before, a great program in place for people to win extra products, to win travel bonuses, cash bonuses, lifestyle bonuses. And this is in addition to Niken's compensation plan. And the best part of it all, you don't do it alone. Savannah, why don't you jump in here and tell us, why would somebody become a Niken wellness consultant, maybe even an influencer, not just a consumer, with the Sovereign Life team being that extra bit of splash that we have going for us as we roll out this thing?
Putting me on the spot. I didn't know I was speaking tonight.
Well, tell us why the Sovereign Life team.
Why
we know why the products, we know why Niken. Everybody has their own reasons for why they might want to improve their health or their well-being or their finances, but why would they want to be part of the Sovereign Life team?
Well, I would just begin by saying, if this conversation enlightened you, made you feel happy, excited, connected, then that's a reason in itself. This community is really about like coming together with people that are like-minded. And you know, the products in itself you've seen are incredible in what they can do for you, but it's the philosophy and the message behind the products that really come to life when you are a distributor yourself, because you get to see how people experience them. They're like even new consultants that join on your team with you. You get to see how it transforms their lives and the other people. And it's about spreading a message that is really great and really transformational in our life. But I mean, getting into the specifics of the Sovereign Life team, the people that have joined the team have chosen to join the team because they want out of a typical 9 to 5. They want an abundant lifestyle. They want something with meaning and purpose. And they want to be their fullest version of themselves. I know for myself, it's about being, the most creative and divine expression of myself, and expressing my truth in any way that I can. And in this team, we really value that everybody has a unique gift. Not everybody is meant to work the exact same way. Everybody has a unique rhythm to what they do. And that is what's so great about this is, if you love the products, you can get paid to share them. And you can also get paid to share them in a way that lights your soul up, and that provides you with a community of people that support you in that, and a lifestyle that is formed around what you want, not you forming yourself around whatever job or career you decide for yourself. So hope that
Awesome.
answered.
Kind of another way of looking at is your vision, your dream, your life, your lifestyle powered by an engine like Nikan, a company that recognizes the whole you, knows that you have needs, body, mind, family, society, finances, and it's a company that supports all aspects of you holistically. I've been at this 30 years, folks. I can tell you that any amount of money you can imagine for yourself, that you could legitimately imagine for yourself, is achievable. When I first got started, I was just looking for some extra money. I thought I needed to get out of being an electrician and back onto my journey as being a musician. So it wasn't going to take much, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month would have been enough for me to be able to back out away from being an electrician and get my time back so I could go back into the recording studio and start working on my career. I never expected what would happen. I never expected to fall so in love with this idea, with this philosophy, and watching people's lives change and how that would affect me. I didn't know that about myself. And so there's a saying in Nikan, first you get into Nikan, and then Nikan gets into you. And that happened hook, line, and sinker for me. And of course, here I am 30 years later, still a very, very strong advocate for Nikan on the front lines and supporting this emerging team, the Sovereign Life team, which I believe represents the lion's share of those 10 million active wellness members who will be joining in the few years ahead of us. So if any of this sounds exciting, lean into this conversation. Ask the person who invited you how you can get started. At the very least, start as a customer, get some of these products working for you, and then you'll find it a lot easier to tell other people about it. So thanks for joining us, everybody. Thanks for all of your contributions, everyone. And I look forward to seeing you again. By the way, this coming Thursday, we'll be here at the same time on the same channel, and I'll be switching the conversation more to the business. So if you've got some questions between now and then, based on the information you've learned, please come back, invite someone, and we'll be talking more about the business, answering questions on Thursday. So thanks, everybody.
Elsa has a quick question.
Yeah, fire away. Thanks, Rosemary.
In the chat.
Let's see,
Yes.
What's the question? Do any of these products need to be replaced after a certain amount of time of using them? No. The only products that have replacement cartridges are the filtration devices, like the air, water, shower. And those cartridges are replaced depending on which one. The air unit, 6 months recommended. The sport bottle, 3 months recommended. Same with the waterfall. The shower, it depends on, if it's as bad as Savannah's shower, probably more often than maybe somebody else's. And you can test your own water with how much chlorine and so forth. But you can tell. You can tell that when the unit needs to be replaced. But yeah, so that would be the only thing that needs replacing. Otherwise, these things are permanent. They'll last as long as you keep them in relative good shape.
I did learn today, actually, that, for example, so somebody needed this for the shower because they had a hard time balancing. So it was recommended, because it's recommended to leave it out of water, but they said, honestly, just wear it. You might have to replace it within 2 to 3 years, but it's like $50 for maybe even a little less than that, 40 for it. So if you're going to replace it every 2-3 years, then it depends on the products. But
well,
yeah.
I mean, if it's the difference between having balance and not having balance in the shower, What's
Yeah.
$50 every 2 or 3 years? It's just what you place your value on. And more people are starting to recognize their health is more valuable than they thought. And they're being confronted with that reality as the world has, you know, had to embrace a new reality. So here we are. We're here today where health has become perhaps the number one concern on the planet. And to be a solution is to have the number one going concern as a business. So think about it from that point of view too. All right, everyone, thanks again. So see you next week, or maybe we'll see you on Thursday. Thank you.
Thanks, you.
guys. Have a
Bye.
good night.
See you guys.
Hey
Bye,
guys.
everyone.